Once upon a time, a new monk approached an older, more experienced Zen Buddhist monk and said, "I have just entered the monastery. Please teach me everything you know." The older monk asked, "Have you eaten your rice porridge?" "Yes," the younger monk said, "I have eaten." The older monk replied, "Then you'd better wash your bowl." That told the younger monk all he needed to know. We all want an extraordinary life, and this want, this burning desire, is what makes us miserable. Zen Buddhism can teach you how to be happy and satisfied, but only if you learn to appreciate the ordinary. Zen is a term derived from the Japanese pronunciation of the Middle Chinese word chan, which means meditation. It's also a form of Buddhism that distinguishes itself with its almost exclusive focus on personhood and the present. Rather than meditations on life, death, religion, or the world, Zen urges you to focus inwards and on the ordinary only. Like all other forms and practices of Buddhism, Zen is not an ideology or belief, but rather a way of life. Buddhism was created in India, but gradually travelled through Asia throughout the centuries, and in every country it spawned multiple subsections of Buddhism. The Zen subsection of Buddhism was created in China, leading to the Chinese school of Zen Buddhism, becoming the most successful school of Buddhism in the entirety of China, Korea, Japan, and Vietnam. One of the ways to become a Zen person is by shikantaza, which translates to just sitting. It means to meditate without any distractions nor egotistical interests or concerns. How to just sit, to focus on yourself, on the present, on the ordinary, and more will all be discussed in this video. Zen's focus on the little things and its disregarding of external factors leads to lots of insightful lessons. But the biggest benefit is that you'll realize you don't need the extraordinary to be happy. You just need yourself and your ordinary life. Since Zen Buddhism is a practice not created by a singular person, there will be quotes from multiple Zen monks. These are Basu Doitsu, Dogen Zenji, Ryokan Taigu, Kodo Sawaki, Shunryu Suzuki, and Shohaku Okumura. In this video, we'll teach you how to start appreciating ordinary life and how doing so can transform you and your life into the very best versions of themselves. The secret is all in the simplicity of washing your bowl after eating from it. Number 1. Meditate. Kodo Sawaki says, "The more you meditate, the less you need." The very first practice that Zen Buddhism recommends is often meditating. Zazen in the practice of Zen Buddhism is the word for sitting meditation. Zazen embraces a range of sitting positions, but the most general posture is sitting cross-legged, hands folded in your lap, and your spine upright but relaxed. Try it out. Close your eyes. When meditating, it's helpful to focus on 3 aspects in order: the body, breathing, and the mind. Focusing on the body means focusing on your position, but it also extends beyond that. You need to keep your body well by feeding it right, moving it enough, granting it the sleep that it needs, and helping it achieve anything else it might require to thrive. Your body is like a plant you have to take good care of. An unhealthy or unhappy body can greatly distract from meditation. Then there's your breathing. Zen doesn't believe in intense breathing exercises that some forms of meditation or sport might use, but rather encourages you to pay attention to the way you normally breathe. Count the number of breaths you take. Observe how long you breathe in for, how long you hold it, and how long you breathe out for. Doing so will not only allow your body to find a pace of breathing that suits you best, but it also calms the mind and brings you into the moment. Emotions influence your breathing. when feeling intense emotions such as anger, joy, or fear, you breathe quicker, rougher, and less deeply than in other situations. Focusing on your breathing and guiding it back to its normal, calm pace is incredibly beneficial to calm down from heavy emotions and still your thoughts. Then, when your body and breathing are calm and observed and have identified your calm, it's time to adjust the mind. Your mind is filled to the brim with thoughts, knowledge, memories, and most of all, concerns about your daily life. That fight you had at work, your visit to your grandfather tomorrow, your meet-up for a friend's birthday, and more. It's all constantly on the forefront of your unconscious and conscious mind. So are temporary worries, fears, and even joys. Your mind can't just stop all these thoughts simply by having you command it to do so. It would just result in your mind fighting itself, like trying not to think of a pink elephant. See? You just did. Instead, the adjustment of your physical position as well as your breathing serves as the first distraction from your day-to-day worries. Then, when you're well and focused on your breathing, you slowly start to drift. When you observe your breath for long enough, it will stabilize, after which you'll calm down. Your mind will stabilize. You will be at rest. Of course, your mind won't be completely empty, that's literally impossible, but if all goes well, you'll be focused enough to observe your thoughts without interacting with them. In other words, the words, ideas, or images that pop up in your mind are like the trees you pass on a walk. You know they're there, you might even acknowledge their existence, but you don't walk up and touch them. They're just decoration. As Shanju Suzuki says, in Zazen, leave your front door and your back door open. Let thoughts come and go. Don't just serve them tea. Or, as Ryokan Taigu says, the mind is like a clear mirror, reflecting everything, but not clinging to anything. When you experience this, you're meditating. You'll end up truly seeing yourself, witnessing your own nature. You will acknowledge and recognize what is usually unconscious, find the source of thoughts that may have always puzzled you, and witness your deepest desires, motivations, and fears. Most importantly, as a result of getting to know yourself intimately, you'll realize that you can be at peace despite your worries, criticisms, disappointments, or anything else. Your concerns fade away in the light of the internal power and strength you possess. You now know you don't need anything but yourself, your body to sit, your lungs to breathe, and your mind to flow in its own unique way. Number 2. Recognize your ignorance. Dogen Zenji says, the true purpose of Zen is to see things as they are, to observe things as they are, and to let everything go as it goes. The water does not flow, the bridge does. Now, this statement might seem like a riddle. Everything you know about water or bridges goes against this statement, and you probably find it hard to even imagine what this could look like. But this is just ignorance. Your ignorance is a fact. All humans are ignorant in some way, and it's impossible to eliminate all ignorance. You will never know everything, understand yourself completely, or live a flawless life. In fact, Zen Buddhism is of the opinion that our reasoning minds can never understand the totality of reality. Just like fish don't understand maths or dogs can't study history, there are many things the human brain will not be able to reach or comprehend. As a result, Zen embraces that reality can seem absurd, contradictory, and unpredictable. As Shanju Suzuki says, in the practice of Zen, we do not seek to find answers, but to let go of our questions. One way to learn how to do this is by embracing the concept of sunyata. Sunyata means nothingness or emptiness. It means that everything that exists without clear explanation, purpose, or causation. There will always be confusion or ignorance about everything. Our bodies, existence, lives, and that of everything around us is all incredibly complex. There is no way to explain everything. In our everyday lives, we think in terms of oppositionals. Something is either there or not there. It exists or it does not exist. While functional in daily life, Zen Buddhism considers these binary views to be unmeditational. When meditating, one will experience a non-binary world, one that is infinitely deep, complex, and contains multitudes upon multitudes. Zen Buddhism's non-oppositional views are often expressed in the word no, or more often, nothing. To the binary question, am I a Buddhist or not? The correct answer would be no, or nothing. This means that a Buddhist isn't something you can be or not be, it's something that you can be in some ways and not in others. And those things you can be sometimes, but not always. Thus, embracing nothing means embracing the nuance of life. The fact that everything can be multiple things at once, serve multiple purposes at once, that things can be oppositional and things can be incomprehensible. In other words, the way to battle your ignorance is to recognize, accept, and admit it. By realizing that you'll never know everything, you'll also learn how to be okay with the idea of not knowing everything. It's our inability to understand our conclusions or boil them down to a binary scenario that can often make us miserable. When something's not good, we label it bad. If the party wasn't fun, it was boring. If your job isn't fulfilling, it's unfulfilling and thus bad. Our lack of understanding of the complete nature of something causes us to draw quick, inaccurate conclusions about that something, which in turn can make us miserable, making the world seem so much more negative than it actually is. Now, that's not to say you shouldn't seek out knowledge. Learning and reading is always good and beneficial. Accepting your ignorance just means acknowledging that whatever you learn, you will never know everything about a single topic, even Zen Buddhism. When somebody asks why they should practice Zen Buddhism, they would probably not be met with an easy answer. Instead, the most likely answer would be the following, as said by Dogen Zenji. In the practice of Zen, there is no goal. The goal is in the practice itself. So let's come back to this beautiful quote from Dogen Zenji. Water does not flow, but the bridge flows. In some ways, this quote will remain incomprehensible to you. That's the point. However, Zenji says this statement is also the perfect metaphor for Zen Buddhists in meditation. When you meditate well, you'll find that the world around you is not the never-ending flow of chaos that it normally seems. Instead, you find that the world is just what it is. And it is your mind that can flow and improve your life. Trying to eliminate all ignorance is an impossible task, and trying to do it will make you miserable. Only when you realize that you won't ever understand or know everything can you start to flow and learn how to be happy with the way things are. Life doesn't have to have a singular purpose. Your day doesn't have to be good. And happiness is not something that can be found and kept all the time. These realizations will help you come to peace with your ordinary life and achievements just the way they are. Number 3. Get to know yourself. Ryokan Taigu says, "The ultimate truth is already within you. You just have to discover it." As reiterated, ignorance is permanent and unavoidable. But there is still plenty of room to learn, especially to learn more about yourself. One of the most important parts of Zen Buddhism is the study of the self. Paradoxically, Zen Buddhism recommends you do this by thinking less about yourself. Most people spend a lot of time thinking about who they think they are and want to be. Think of the woman who thinks being a good mother is the most important part of her identity and spends all her time and energy living up to this. Or the man who thinks he'll only be fulfilled when he's a CEO. The person who wants to be a famous painter. Or the student who thinks they need to keep getting the best grades of the class. These people all think that certain achievements or lifestyles are essential to who they are. But in trying to achieve these goals, they actually focus on the wrong things. External achievements aren't essential to be who you are, and thinking so can actually result in you getting lost. You won't feel like a person or complete until you've reached your goal. Your self-worth and identity is given away, tied to something external. Instead, Zen Buddhism reasons, you should look inward to your personality, to who you already are, whatever your external circumstances. Zen Buddhism believes that, like everything, the self is nothing and bottomless. Your urges, ideas, desires, they all come from this pit. Zen doesn't believe that you're prone to deceiving yourself. Instead, if you just listen closely to your feelings and take the actions you feel like taking, you'll realize you're a unique individual. So you'll get to know yourself the best when you do ordinary things. When you meditate, when you're in the flow, and when you do the same things everybody else does. Because during these moments, you'll find what distinguishes you from others. What kind of thoughts do you have? Where do you find joy in daily life? What are your likes and dislikes? What motivates you? You'll find that you're already a complete, complex and interesting person, even in the most uninteresting of circumstances. So when you learn how to observe yourself casually, you'll also learn that you don't need anything else to be who you want to be. It's already inside of you. The less you think about what you want to have and be, the more you'll be satisfied with what you already have and are. Number 4. Love the ordinary. Sunryu Suzuki says, Zen is not some kind of excitement, but concentration on our usual, everyday routine. Engaging in ordinary activities, as mentioned before, is helpful for getting to know yourself. But the ordinary is much more than that. According to Zen Buddhism, our ordinary mind is simple. We're naturally calm and focused on just what is needed. This doesn't only offer insight into who you are, but also calmness and serenity. The chaos, confusion, and alienation we experience, in reality, is a byproduct of external distractions. Yet most people feel like their mind is a source of chaos, anxiety, and worries. So how is it that we've become so disconnected from our ordinary, natural mind? Well, this is because we seek out and allow ourselves to be carried away by all forms of external distractions. In fact, we often feel like distractions are good. We want to flee ordinary life. Everybody wants to experience and become something extraordinary, something special, something overwhelming. But instead of being fulfilled by always trying to do more and more, we become more and more dissatisfied. Now, that's not to say you should never take a risk, change your job, travel, or anything like that. Indeed, Buddhism highly recommends seeing more of the world and gaining new experiences. But whatever it is you're doing, never forget or neglect the ordinary as well. You might try out a new job during the day, but don't forget to cook yourself a nice and healthy meal in the evening. And you might go out with friends on the weekends, but make sure to take the time to meditate, clean, and take a walk too. How many people's houses are a mess? How many people don't like to cook for themselves, or participate in sports, or never do anything creatively ever? And how many of those complain about being tired, uninspired, or down? The ordinary represents the time and place where your mind can rest and grow, and so it's extremely important for your energy levels and mental health to allow your mind that space. Everything in life should be a balance, and this balance includes that all extraordinary things in life should be matched with ordinary activities to enjoy. Moreover, according to Zen Buddhism, participating in ordinary activities such as cooking, cleaning, working, being creative, being active, taking a walk, and so on, can result in achieving flow. Think back to that quote, "The water does not flow, but the bridge does." Being in a sort of flow can look like this, effortlessly flowing forward, yet not passively nor without power. Imagine it like this. You're acting almost automatically, but not mindlessly. Your attention is effortlessly focused on the activity at hand, with little to no inner monologue or distractions. You feel like you're in control of the situation. Time goes by quicker or less noticeably. You're neither bored nor overwhelmed, and the activity allows you to feel a sense of achievement. However counterintuitive it might seem, it can be the most simple of activities to allow you to get in the flow. Trying to cook a new recipe, walk a new path, clean the house, things like that are all great choices. Being in flow is one of the most satisfactory and inspiring experiences one can have. It's extremely good for your mind and body. So everybody who wants to get the most out of their life should, in fact, embrace the little things in their days. Focus on the ordinary, because the extraordinary alone will never make you happy. Number 5. Live in the here and now. In our final quote for this video, Shohaku Okamura says, "We cannot expect any ecstasy greater than right here, right now. Our everyday lives." One of Zen Buddhist beliefs is that time and space are necessarily connected and cannot be separated. Zen Buddhists don't say live in the here and now, because that implies you can live here but not now, or now but not here. Instead, a more logical phrase would be live in the here now, or just live now. We often feel trapped in our circumstances and fantasize about the freedom the future can offer. We think in the future we'll be financially comfortable, creatively free, physically better, or anything else. Zen Buddhism understands freedom a little differently. Freedom, according to this practice, can be understood as purposeless purpose, or actionless action. You're free when you're in the flow. You get a sense of achievement from the things you do, and you feel satisfied with the options you have, whether you had the choice to do those things or not. Freedom means being free in your mind. Therefore, according to Zen Buddhism, freedom can only be achieved in the here, now, and only if you set your mind to do the things you do. Many of these actions will concern the ordinary. Your mind might not constantly urge you to do something impressive or groundbreaking. In fact, these urges might be rare if not entirely absent. Most of our desires focus on the details of everyday life. Eating a sandwich, going to bed, going for a run, expressing yourself creatively, working hard, working less, and any other ordinary actions. Zen monk Baso Doitsu famously said, "The mind as it is the way." You are free and satisfied when you allow yourself to be calm and follow your mind. This can only be done in the here now. If you focus on the future, you're not acting, and the same goes for the past. So, if you live in the here now, you'll find that you're the most satisfied you could be. So, in conclusion, it's a lack of focus on the ordinary that makes us feel dissatisfied with life. When you learn to focus on the simple things in life, like meditation, acceptance of ignorance, self-exploration, and the present time, you'll find that you don't need anything you don't already have. It's all inside of you. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to check out our full Philosophies for Life playlist. And for more videos to help you find success and happiness using beautiful philosophical wisdom, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching.